Read the disclaimer, 13 and up.
Hello everyone, we are on the latest episode of QuadStrike, and it was certainly an episode. So we're gonna just jump right into it, but yeah, I definitely feel like the pacing of this is usually where the new blader debuts, and then after, I don't know, it kind of gets a little bit iffy, and then after kind of feels sometimes dragged out a little bit. So for this episode, this is kind of focusing on the training side. I definitely feel like this entire thing could have been probably paced to like the usual 11 minutes. I don't think this needed like a full 20 minutes. That's what it kind of felt like. You do have some callbacks to season 1. And they're basically just training. They're doing XANDER's training the whole time. So I'm like, oh, okay, let's see where it goes. The only thing I thought was a little bit weak was kind of just on the art slash kind of model consistency. There are definitely some awkward looking shots throughout the episode, and kind of just like, it's kind of on the weaker side of Beyblade Burst. Like, I guess, I don't know what's the best way to describe it. Like, kind of like a weak episode of DB visually. But, you know, they're doing the training. She's actually doing pretty good because she has those skills, man, from being QUADRA, so she's doing pretty good. When they're practicing their launches, they're near a waterfall, and then after she looks at it, and she sees the elemental, which I would assume obviously this would have been title, because it makes the most sense because she's right there. She basically sees the floating PNG where it's just floating there. That's the best way to say it. Yeah, I remember seeing this shot in the opening music video, and I was like, when are we gonna get to this? And yeah, we finally did. I'm mostly joking just because they literally just inserted the PNG. It's not like they try to animate it too much with the lighting. But she saw the elemental, okay. So definitely the first half kind of feels a wee bit dragged just to kind of get to that point. But, you know, the second half's where they actually get to the battles. And, you know, first up is Ranzo. So he does his double wing cyclone, hey! So this is where it actually gets now a lot more fun to watch. He is smacking around Cyclone, so it's very good to see that Ragnarok returned to being the punching bag. I mean, it kind of still was, but yeah, you know, Excalius is going for it, man. This was a very good shot. This shot I really did enjoy, actually, when the CGI effect on the tornado, it looks really, really good. And then after, you know, he's smacking up Excalius. Now, a shot that I really enjoyed, actually, was when Excalius kind of just floats up in the air here. I definitely think that the battle choreography is kind of still on point. You know, here and there, it's kind of iffy, mostly because I think because they're still restricted to the HASBRO base, it's kind of where it gets iffy, because I feel like if this was the TT version of Excalius Excalibur, you would have seen kind of a little bit more, I don't know, maybe creativity with like the whole B-lock thing and getting to like the middle, you know. That's something that I think people pointed out, where we kind of lose that thing that was with Excalius that we always saw, where it always would kind of do like that impact, that saber thing. He just calls out Xiphoid Saber. I thought this shot was, it was a really good shot, man. And as we look back into the screenshots here that I have as I'll be talking about it, he absolutely obliterates Cyclone. And then after she's talking to Pax, okay? Because now she asks Pax about the fact that, have you ever seen the elemental? And he clenches his arm. Okay, so I think, you know, this was a little bit good. Again, you know, the good part about this episode is definitely the pre/QUADRA side, where they kind of just give more backstory, which this is exactly what I think DB was lacking, kind of building on build properly, and kind of just like, I don't know, kind of shoehorning it near the end. This is good. I liked the title. I like the bio title, Excalius for sure. So I definitely think, like I said, the second half is definitely a lot stronger to me. She does the whole counting thing. Oh, and she's going for it, man, and she actually outspins. So he laughs, okay, you know, in XANDER fashion. And this is definitely a very off-looking shot on his face. And then after he gets the sword attachment, so they do mention the whole fact that in the episode, and they've been doing this for the longest time, where it's like the attachment, no attachment. They mention, oh, well, it's so balanced, but it's so good for attack, and now he's got super attack. Okay. I think this is also an awkward looking, yeah, a couple awkward looking shots. This definitely is not the strongest in terms of kind of art slash visuals, but the battles, you know, are good, I would say. The battles are definitely good. It's definitely fun to watch Pre versus XANDER. I do feel we probably could have cut out the Ranzo thing, because they're going to just do Bell right after. That's why I kind of said it felt a little bit dragged. But, you know, it goes for the impact. She does power up, so kind of a new sequence when she calls on there on like a title break, and I thought, you know, the CGI on the Pandora when it does the special effects, dude, it looks sick. It still looks sick. So then I think this is the exact same, which is the thing I was thinking about. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same time, anytime he calls it like Xiphoid Saber, and they just added like the kind of special effects sword that he holds, but it doesn't look right because it's not like he's actually grabbing it. It's just like they just put it below the layer of like the bank sequence. That's why it feels so awkward to me whenever I see it. But then after, this shot looks really good when they're clashing with the special effects. I thought that was probably the best shot in the episode. I'm trying my best because this is not in-betweens. These are just very awkward looking shots throughout. He does in fact win. And next week is Bell versus XANDER. Okay, we're gonna see that. Some cool effects on where the medal should have been on the Divine, and it's going to be against XANDER, so I think overall, I gotta have a different shot so that way when it goes back to me. So overall, what do I think? I think the pacing is kind of where I'm starting to feel that QuadStrike is kind of meh on. I definitely feel, like I said before, it kind of like formulaic in the sense, I think it's okay depending on how they do it. Like, I don't think for this whole episode that we needed maybe the Ranzo battle. I don't think that, I think if the pacing was a little bit better, I think probably like the first half could have just been the whole thing where she sees it, and then her battle with XANDER, and then after maybe the battle with Bell. I think just the pacing feels off. I don't know if that's the exact way I would actually want it either, just, it feels weird. It definitely feels weird. And I definitely think they're trying to do this to fill out the episodes, because otherwise, if they were fitting this into 11 minutes, this probably would have felt like an okay 11 minutes. I think the callbacks were cool. The battles were definitely better in the second half. First half, okay-ish. There's another episode with XANDER, so maybe it ends off pretty strong visually on the animation side. But for QuadStrike, I think this was fine. This was okay. This is definitely on the weaker ones. I think it's kind of like my same thoughts, kind of like on the Ken one, kind of like before, when it kind of feels like they just are adding that stuff. Hopefully, once we get to Hikaru and Hyuga, it makes a little bit more sense for the pacing, and eventually, you know, Kit and Iger. But yeah, this was okay. This was an okay. The best part is probably the backstory for Pre and QUADRA and kind of her developments there. And yeah, that's definitely kind of it for this video. Alright, anyways, that's where we're going to be ending off this video. Make sure to check out our store. I'll probably put up a screenshot right about now and some QR code if you want to scan it. It's an awesome way to support the channel. We have DB/B releases. Please check it out so you can support us. And that's where I'm ending off this video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye.